Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and you've probably noticed something already, that at the bottom of the screen here, the bar is cut off. There is a reason for this, if I just show you this here. So you'll notice that it's cut off. The reason for that is this is a very special gameplay. This is Perky Duck, and she is a level 93 silver border player. But we are going to notice something here. Like, look in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Can you guys make that out? It now says 40 FPS. The reason why I've had to stretch this out is because the resolution was below 1080p, so standard sort of widescreen resolution. It is now at... Let's just pause this, because that was... oh, it's covered it up. Hang on. Play. Oh, whatever. I think it's always going to cover it up. So... Yeah, when I pause, it feels bad. It was at 15 FPS at one point there. Oh, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is OverAnalyzed. If you'd like to send a video in for consideration to appear in this series, and then follow the instructions that were on the screen as I was talking like a madman. So, before we even talk about what's going on in the game, the way you should be playing the game, use of your abilities, you know, use of amp it up and all that good stuff, how to wall ride, look at that FPS. That there is at 17 FPS. I have never seen the game at those FPS rates. And what makes this more astonishing to me is you are this account is a 93 silver account. That is a very high level account. Look at it. It's a very high level account. You need a new computer. I categorically tell you right now, you get a better computer, you will be a better player. Just straight away. You'll go straight up through the ranks because in this case, it will make you better because this is what we need to hit, right? Anything below 60 FPS. So if we're below 60 FPS, that is bad news. We do not want that. We want to be above 60 FPS as much as possible. That means we want to maintain 60. The consoles maintain 60 FPS. This is awesome. When I play Overwatch, now granted, I mean, I've got a very high-end computer. Mine caps out at like 300 FPS most of the time. That's way over the top. Just to give you a quick explanation how this works, is you need to be hitting the FPS that your monitor... that syncs up with your monitor's refresh rate. So most monitors are 60 hertz, right? That means you need to have 60 FPS. If you don't have 60 FPS, then you will not be using that monitor correctly. And anything above 60 won't really make a difference. Most gaming monitors are 144 hertz. This means if you run at 144 FPS, you get to see the movement on the screen and it feels much smoother, and this is the gold standard. If you really want to get better at FPS games, you need to have a minimum of 144 FPS. So essentially that's like triple what is basically your best FPS in a way that you're getting at the moment. So in this case, I would really save up for a new computer, or maybe look at things like dropping the render scale in game and things like that, just to try and increase your FPS, because this is astonishingly low FPS. It's a miracle that you've actually been able to record this footage, which again, recording the footage might have impacted on your FPS, possibly. Maybe that's the reason why. But if it's not, I would still recommend sorting out your computer. All right, let's do this. So let's get stuck into this and let's take a look at what's going on. So you guys seen the team comp there. It's not a bad team comp. It's definitely workable. But what we're looking at here is Lucio. So one thing I noticed as you ran out to spawn there is you did not wall ride at any point. Remember, when you jump at the end of a wall ride, you will get a speed boost. So with Lucio, you can basically keep jumping off the walls and get into the fight fast. What we're looking now is, I'm presuming you're going to use Amp It Up, yeah, at the wrong time. I'll let it keep running, but that was the wrong time to use Amp It Up. In fact, while it's running, let me just draw over the screen. So Amp It Up down here, you need to be very aware that this is your... You only really need to be... You basically use this when you need to use this, right? And the times to use this are when a team are taking a load of damage, right? Very rarely do I use Amp It Up for speed, unless we need to escape like that, a Diva Bomb, or something ridiculous like that. You'll notice, again, you never actually changed your song there. You should have been on speed there, because as soon as a Diva Bomb's coming in, we need to move, right? That's what you should have been prioritizing, not actually just staying on heal. So what we need to do with Amp It Up is be dead simple. Like, really distill this down. When we go into a massive team fight and we're taking a lot of damage as a team, then we can Amp It Up, because that's going to heal our team a lot. We can generally stay on the healing song as well. If we need to move fast, like a Genji Blade we just heard there, but you actually did the right thing there. That was really good. You heard the Genji Blade, so you dropped the sound barrier. That's the right thing to do. Listening for sound cues in this game is critical. Oh, sorry. I thought Blow My Gun was you. That's not you. I apologize. Also, you're not using your microphone.
Sorry,
which, you know, is like... I'm not really fussed about people using communication at this level of the game. You just need to get better at the hero, and that you're just going to get that through focusing on playing the hero. So, amp it up. What we need to do with this, when we're in a big team fight, we're taking a lot of damage, we use amp it up heal. If we're in a team fight and they throw Diva Bomb at us or something where we need to get out of the way, we put the speed song on and then we amp the speed song up. One thing we do not do, which I see loads of Lucio players do, and oh, I left this on the screen, but this really, really, really annoys me, is they will amp it up on speed into a fight. You never need to do that. Never, ever, ever do that. Just use normal speed. There is no need to amp it up. So at that moment in time, there was absolutely nothing we could do there. Like, look at them. They were there. They're camping us. We can't do anything about that. So what we're going to have to do in that case is get back into the spawn. Instead, we kind of died. Now, to be honest, I don't think there was going to be that much of a... it wouldn't have made much of a difference if we did get out there or did survive and then did get back to the point. So, things we're noticing here is you are not... so, there are no wall riding. So, practice wall riding. Remember, jump when you're about to come off a wall because you get a speed boost. And if you jump from wall to wall to wall to wall... you will gain speed and you'll move really, really quick. Never use E or amp it up. Let's just call this amp, to be honest. Okay, so you need to wall ride more. You need to amp heal only, right? When we're in a big fight. And then we can start looking at other stuff. And we need to get a better computer, which is really, really harsh of me to say, but in this case, it is really screwing you over. Like, if you had a better computer, you'd be a better player. Right. So speed up out of the door. This is fine. We can do that. Remember, we could wall ride. Like, we could be... If I pause this, if it won't let me, but you could have been actually closer to the enemy team. Maybe got a couple of cheeky hits in. I'm not saying you're going to kill anyone, but a couple of cheeky hits in. See, that there is a really good amp it up because we were getting dove on, so we need to do that, right? Boop is something else which I've seen you use a little bit. You see, our accuracy there is like heavily suffering because we've got a bad computer. Like, we are lost here. Oh, this is quite painful to watch. Yeah, like, we're making a lot of mistakes. Like, we're trying to boop our own teammate there. I know we wasn't trying to do that. We were trying to boop the Winston, but we just couldn't because of the FPS. Oh, man, this is 17, 16, 15 FPS. Wow. All right, so we are winning the fight, which is good news. We've almost got sound barrier. Again, this is good news. One thing we're not doing necessarily here is dueling the enemy targets, like maybe going after a Genji a little bit in the fight and stuff like that. I wouldn't worry too much about that, because if you can stay alive as Lucio, then you're sort of winning 70% of the battles, right? Nice. You just don't want to die as Lucio. Now, one thing Lucio players never do, and this is something a lot of Lucio players should take as advice, it doesn't really matter where you are in the ladder, is protect your other support. In this case, we've got a Moira. Moira is very durable, but every other deep support, I guess with the exception of Brigitte, but she's not really a support, they are very vulnerable. Like, you need to stay with that support and help them out. Lucio is very durable, so he can boot people away, he can amp it up to keep the, your other support alive. It's great. Now, positioning-wise, sound barrier into that, absolutely fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Speed, speed, speed. We never had speed on there. Luckily, all of our team got away with that. We just got the... looks like we got the McCree get killed there by the Genji Blade. That's fine. The rest of it actually worked out okay. One thing you are doing here, which again I don't really like this, is you're not really wall riding. Now, wall riding as Lucio is something you almost want to be doing all of the time because it makes you way harder to hit. Now, obviously, it makes it much more difficult to attack the enemy. And you seem to be having problems with that anyway. But I think that is honestly down to your FPS because it's so low. Oh my god, it's making me sad. Great. You see, that's a good amp up. We're on the front line. We're pushing them back. But now there's a thing we could do here, right? There's a thing we could do. Let's just pause this, right? We've all right, let me just explain this, right? Because you're playing a very safe kind of Lucio, and that's good because you don't want to die. And beyond all the other FPS issues and stuff like that, what we need to do is get aggressive sometimes. Now, look at this. We've killed 2 of their team, right? We are playing it safe on Heal Song. Before you actually moved here, what you should have done is, if I just jump this back a little bit. So let's go to here. Okay, and we're going to get 2 kills now. We're going to amp it up, then we're going to get 2 kills. Right? And we're going to get another kill. Okay. Right now, what I would do, right, is I would swap the song to speed, and I would go in after them. But I would say on my microphone, let's chase them down. Let's clean them up. Let's kill them, basically, right? That is like something I think you could think about. Like, it's going to be very hard for me to sort of coach you when to do that, because you need to sort of read the game and think, all right, now we can go. Like, you see that Winston there and that Zen? We could have pushed onto them. Now, unluckily, our McCree's been killed. You see that res happening there with our Mercy? We need to protect her when she does that. See, we can push forward here. Like, imagine if you were jumping on the walls. Like, imagine if you're on the wall. Like, get on the wall. What have I drawn on the screen? I don't know. But get on the wall. Wall ride. I want you to just go away and practice wall riding. This is a feels bad moment. We don't want a sound barrier here. Nah. That's unlucky. Right, you're going to quit the game because you knew it was bad. You should not have sound barriered then, because not because Soldier was attack vising and he's going to kill us before we even hit the ground, which he did. It's because most of our team up here were kaput. They were dead. Never, ever, ever sound barrier when you've lost like 3 guys or something. That's not going to work. Even 2 guys, unless your team have got an amazing ultimate combo they can whip out like a graviton pulse bomb or something. Never ever do that, because sound barrier takes a very long time to charge. Now, in terms of when to use sound barrier, obviously, you know, if you do get grabbed by the enemy, you can like reactionary sound barrier that. Now, there are a couple of exceptions to this. Like, if you've got like a nano boosted Genji blading into that, that's not really going to do anything. He's just going to kill you anyway. That's a huge grab. That is a really huge grab off that Zarya.
Push them out.
But things like Tac Visor, dropping a sound barrier into a Tac Visor is an awesome thing to do, because that's going to screw Soldier. Obviously, if you're right next to him and you're trying to do it, you know, you're jumping up in the air trying to drop the beat and he just shoots you and kills you, well then, yeah, that's bad, because you just lose your ultimate then. Because as soon as you press Q, you lose your ultimate. All right, so... yeah, FPS issues aside, we don't wall ride enough. We maybe amp up speed a little bit too much. We don't use speed enough. Remember, we should use speed as much as possible, because this is part of Lucio's kit, which only Lucio has. And the ability to move faster in this game as a team is so powerful. This is why you see Lucio at the pro level. And it's why we've seen Lucio at the pro level for ages, well, literally years, because he was a beast. Until the meta kind of changed and we kind of came into this more map-specific meta. Now, another thing you're not doing as well is pressing tab, which, you know, bring the score up, guys, more, because we can see what's going on. Because the Lucio, sort of more advanced Lucio role, oh, again, this FPS is so bad, but the more advanced Lucio role would be one of dictating, one of shot calling, one of planning ultimates, one of tracking enemy ultimates. But all of that is sort of, it comes in time once you know, have sort of got the basics down. Now, again, look at our movement here. It's not worth pausing, but look at the movement here. We're just walking around on the floor. We're Lucio, we can wall ride. Goddamn wall ride. I just want you to load in a custom game and practice wall riding. You'll be surprised how much better this will make you. Now, we should have waited for the team, which we are. This is good. I was going to say, don't speed boost. I was expecting you to speed boost at the spawn, but you didn't, which is awesome. Grouping up is essential. Never, ever trickle back in onto the point. All right. Okay. So.
McCree focus tracer.
McCree focus tracer. I mean, you get that a lot where just because. Oh, ooh, was that a barrier? Even I couldn't see that because the FPS was so low. But yeah, people who tell like, "Oh, you're a McCree, you should kill the tracer." Not necessarily. The Tracer could be better than the McCree. You know? It's hard. It's hard as well to kill Tracer with McCree. It isn't just like an instant win. It's much like you don't just pick a soldier and then you kill a Pharaoh. Like that just doesn't compute. Right, we could boop him off, and we have. That is cool. So for the first time in this entire game, you've actually done a Lucio. You haven't done any Lucio until then. Now, we don't want to use anything here. All right, so the reason why we don't want to use anything is not only because we've lost basically everybody in the team, but also they were investing a lot of ultimates into that fight.
Their support ults.
Here's Zarya. They wasted their support ults, but so did we. Just when people are dying, right, what I want you to do before you press Q and drop your ultimate, look at the kill feed. Or like look at what's going on the screen. If we've suffered losses, then don't, I repeat, don't use sound barrier. If the losses are like 3 guys, like that's bad. And if the enemy are investing loads of ultimates into a fight, let them do that. We've lost guys, they're wasting ultimates. We don't want to then waste our ultimate. Also, that positioning there is very risky because, oh god, just die again.
Just get in the point. Just get on
Oh, we're pretty much screwed now, which is unlucky. But that positioning there is bad because if I just pause this, I keep forgetting I can easily rewind this, so I'll just go back and show you why this positioning is bad. So this positioning here is bad. The very simple reason for this is that there is a Zen. Zen is going to do his his alternate fire, and he's going to fire it straight through here, and this is going to hit you in the head. So you got to be very careful of that. Do not stand around like that. That is not a great idea. All right, let's jump forward a bit. So we get wiped out here. This is unlucky because I don't think we're going to get back to the point. I think kind of the timeline of the video spoiled it as well. And soldiers basically killed D.Va. Oh, it looks like we are going to touch it. But again, this becomes a problem because, well, it's just going to be a Lucio on the point. But you see that pillar in the middle? Why not wall ride around it? Why not make yourself hard to kill? Because what you're doing with the Lucio is you're not...
Just get on point. David, just get on point.
We've lost Zarya. Zarya. All right. Okay, let's take a look at this. Because what we can see here is a couple of telling things. 8 deaths, 10 eliminations. Now, I wouldn't really worry too much about eliminations as a Lucio. I would worry about this, though. 8 deaths is a lot. Like, that's a lot. Like, we've died a lot there, and we really shouldn't have died that much, to be honest. If you can stop dying, that'd be great. But I think a lot of your issues are just coming from your computer. It is not good enough to play Overwatch, and it is really screwing you over. It is a miracle to me you've got to the level that you are. Like, that is an absolute miracle. I think things you need to focus on are wall riding. You need to just go and practice wall riding. That will help you out a lot. Always think that I should be wall riding as Lucio because I'm going to be much harder to hit, and they're not going to kill me. Think about booping people off into environmental kills like you did with the soldier. So you knew you could do this. And, you know, we could see that unfolding. You were like, I'm going to go to the bridge, and if there's anyone up there, I'm going to knock them off with a boop. And you did. One thing as well, which I've never really said in any of these OverAnalyzed videos, is why don't you check out some pro Lucios? Watching Overwatch League can, like, it's not going to make you a better player straight away, but you'll see different ways how pros use the heroes. You'll see how they maybe on Ilios that they'll, is it Lighthouse? It's Lighthouse. No, it's not Lighthouse. It's the well stage. You throw people down the murder hole. Like, you'll notice they'll do a lot of booping like that. So there are plays you can set yourself up for. But also, remember, your role as a Lucio is to protect your other support most of the time. And just try and keep alive in the fight. And remember, use speed to get away from certain ultimates. And try and say, like, guys, let's chase them down. If we get 2 kills, let's put speed on and just chase the rest of them down. We might be able to kill them. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. Thanks for watching. And I will see you on the next one.